Oh hi, I'm Drew Lee and welcome to my YouTube channel Amputee. This is the first video that I am making, so I do apologise that I've not got the lights, the microphone, the ambience. I got my Dr. Cotton t-shirt on, And anyway, reason why I decided to do this channel in the first place is I just want to hopefully meet some nice people, get a nice community going, you know, just have a laugh, be positive about, you know, this situation that's going on, as I've decided to have an amputation on my left leg. This video I will be explaining the story, and I will be explaining from the very beginning up to the point where I've decided to have the amputation. So without further ado, let's get cracking.
Oh, I know you're somewhere else right now, loving someone else, no doubt. Well, I'm one for sorrow, ain't it too bad?
Give it a rest, Claire. So, it was March 22nd, 2020. It was actually Mother's Day, 2 days before the first big England lockdown. Dun, dun, dun. And anyway, I was walking along the street and I got kidnapped by gypsies. No, I'm only joking. I wish I could tell that to someone though, because the amount of people that's asked me in the pub, or if I've been down the Sainsbury's or down the supermarket and they said, oh my God, what's happened to your leg? Wish I could just say, got kidnapped by gypsies, got attacked by gypsies, shark, jumped off a ship. No. It was Mother's Day, that was true. And I went to the park with my sister and my nieces, and we were all on the swing, and as you do as a kid, you jump off the swing. I wanted to jump off the swing. So I was like 1, 2, 3, and as I jumped off, my arm got caught in the chain and I landed wrong. And then that was it, game over. There were 3 cracks that I heard, brother-in-law's dad heard. But we all thought it was just dislocated because I've never broken anything. No one else around had broken anything major before. So we all thought it was dislocated. So I was like, oh, we were like, Drew, get home, put your leg up, put a bag of peas on it, you know, be easy for a week and you'll be fine. I was like, all right, okay. But when I fell to the ground, I was stuck. I couldn't move. So then my brother-in-law, he went to pick me up and I was like, don't you touch me, you cheeky bastard. Because it bloody hurt. My brother-in-law's dad was getting the car. He ended up putting me over his shoulder, and every 10 steps I swore till my face went blue and I told him to put me down, because I could feel a lot of bones moving around like that, kind of like a bag of marbles. My leg at the time felt as if I put from above the knee, I put my leg in a big pot of boiling water and I couldn't take it out. It was so painful. I would not put that on my enemy, except for Sonia Jackson over the road. But I digress. I was in pain. So I eventually got to the car and they drove me back to my flat. Not this one, I lived in a different flat at the time. The flat was 2 stories up. I'm currently in a ground floor flat. And they went, all right then, let's shimmy you up to your flat, get you a bag of peas, put your leg up. I was like, I can't get out of the car. I can't get out of the car. Even to move the slightest muscle in my leg, I'm not even exaggerating. I mean, I know I'm gay, I know I'm dramatic, but this was painful. And I said, I can't move, can't move, can't move, can't move. I think I said I can't move. So they drove me back to their house, and my brother-in-law picked me up, chucked me on the couch somehow. I was effing and blinding and swearing and apologising because obviously my young nieces were there. And eventually I got onto the couch and they gave me some peas, obviously. Got my leg up, got the ice. And the pain was just getting worse and worse and worse. And I'm just going to show you a picture of what the leg looked like now. Yeah, S club. No, but it was an S shape. And at that point, we were just like, let's just get the ambulance because it's obviously something worse than dislocated. Me and my brother-in-law's dad said to each other, we heard the clicks, that ain't a dislocation. But like I said, none of us knew what was going on. So the ambulance come over and, you know, not to be horrible, but they must have been juniors. Looked like they struggled to walk from the bloody ambulance to the door. They got in and they asked me a couple of questions, asked what happened, blah, blah, blah. And they said, right, we're going to take you into the hospital, get some x-rays done, go from there. I was like, let's go. So, after it took 5 minutes for me to move from the position I was in to sit like with my legs like this. And no word of a lie, both of them, both ambulance crew, I think they were in their early 20s, they looked about it. They were like, come on then, stand up. They gave me some gas and I was like, oh, fabulous. But they were like, come on then. I was like, I can't move. I can't move. Come on then. They didn't touch me. They didn't do anything at all. So after about a few minutes, my brother-in-law, he was like, I've had enough of this. Picked me up from under my elbows. I was screaming. I was crying. You know when you're like, it's an ugly cry. It's not even a good cry. You're beetroot red, you've got tears streaming down your face, all your wrinkles are coming out. It's not a good look. He just was brilliant and he just, you know, channeled out, picked me up and chucked me on the ambulance bed. And then they wheeled me off into the ambulance up to the hospital. Obviously, I was crying, I was apologising because I ruined the Mother's Day. Oh, I felt bloody awful, and all it was jumping off a swing. I felt awful. I felt awful. I just remember, like, it was such a nice morning and early afternoon, you know, and I was in a good mood that day. I remember that things were on the up, and I felt terrible. Absolutely terrible. But I must have passed out a few times because I do not remember, probably 4 to 5 hours, probably about 4 hours. I must have passed in and out because apparently I had an x-ray while I was in the bed. lots of things were done, and I don't remember a bastard thing. So I don't remember anything. So yeah, I remember though waking up in that hospital, and I was put in a pre-surgical ward, and it was about 8 o'clock at this time, 8 o'clock at night, and there was a junior, I think she was junior or she was learning, but anyway, she was brilliant. She always came in and out to see how I was. She showed me an x-ray of my leg. Now, I'm going to show you a quick picture now. For a knee, it's pretty bad. I don't do things by halves, as you'll learn in this story. And yeah, I found out that it was broken, the knee joint. The knee itself was broken into 50 plus pieces. 50 plus pieces. Like, you know, little marbles, little Maltesers. So I remember at that point, I was in a cast, not a solid cast, but like a flexible cast. And the nurses in that particular ward, they were really rude to me. They were horrible. Don't know why they're in that job. You know, jog on. Don't do it if you don't nice to patients. Don't understand that. But anyway, I digress. So anyway, I had this like cast on, not solid as I say, and all of a sudden I felt that it was getting too tight, and it was getting tighter and tighter and tighter. The pain was getting worse and worse and worse, and then an A&E nurse came in. I mean, apparently she was on my case. This was the first time I met her or remember her. And I was like, cut this bloody thing off, it's bloody hurting, cut it off, get it off, quick, hurry up. Oh, I was literally like, ooh. So she ran out, came back, cut it off, and all of a sudden I felt a release. I was like, oh my God, that's so much better. She's like, but we can fit your hand in there. We can fit everything in there. I said, get that cast off. It bloody hurts. I was having muscle compartment syndrome. Now, if you don't know what muscle compartment syndrome is, it is, from what I've been told, and if I'm wrong, I do apologise, I am going to tell you what it is. So, muscle compartment syndrome. So obviously blood is pumping around your body as per normal, does its thing. But if you have an injury, if you have anything, you know, cuts, grazes, whatever, blood is going to rush to that area to try and mend the problem. White cells and all that stuff, blah, blah, blah. The blood is rushing to the area. So not forgetting that you've got blood running around your body anyway, and then you've got blood rushing to that area to try and fix it. There's too much blood in the area. And my calf muscle, and well, anyone's calf muscle, in my situation, it needs to expand. There's too much blood going on. So the calf muscle is expanding and it's just blowing up like a balloon. So I don't remember this. I must have passed out again, but I went in and I had an emergency operation for muscle compartment syndrome. And what they did is that they did cut two long strips down the front of my leg. I will show you later on. And basically they just let the calf muscle swell. So I'm like passed out, let the calf muscle swell, do its thing, and then eventually the calf muscle will go back into its original size and state. However the state of the leg is, it will do its thing. And apparently that took quite a while. They said that the calf muscle went in double in size. They said that it was like ridiculous. So that surprised me anyway. I mean, I remember at the time when they were telling me, I was just like, I don't give a bloody hoot. Take the thing off, get rid of it. This is so painful, I can't do with it. If you're not going to fix it, cut the off. So, but they said no, obviously they're going to try and fix it, because they did actually say that if I didn't go to the hospital when I did, I would have probably had to have had the leg taken off from above the knee because of how serious the break was. So I was told before my next operation what the break was and what they were going to do. So it's called a Shatsa 6 tibial plateau break, which if you Google it and you do XYZ, it's the worst one out of all of them. Go figure. I don't do things by halves. And I also had 6 fractures in the shin. This was jumping off a swing, by the way, not being kidnapped by gypsies. So, Shatsa 6 tibial plateau break, whatever it's called, and knee smushed into 50 plus pieces, and 6 fractures in the shin. And I then went to have another operation, well, it was another 2, where they gave me an external fixator, and they ended up putting 3 metal plates in my leg. 1 long one on the outside and 2 smaller ones on the inside. And I'm just going to show you a couple of pictures now. So, obviously I was high to the nines. There was one night where the nurses, they were absolutely dire. They left me bleeding in my... Don't even get me started. There was only one night, well, I'll say 65% of the time, they were brilliant. If I had a dodgy one in my bay in the hospital, that was it. I was like the nan from Catherine Tate, basically. If they started on me, but they were all really nice in there, mainly. And I was in the hospital at the time when, as I said, it was originally broke it 2 days before the first lockdown, so I was in hospital during the first big lockdown, and yes, it was absolutely dead in there. So anyway, I had all that done, ended up having the external fixator removed. I called it like scaffolding when I explain it to people who've never heard of it. I decided external fixator, which is basically scaffolding above the knee, which keeps it in place. You can't bend it, can't do nothing. To be honest, they kept it clean. They did what they did. There were some nurses in there that were really, really good with my leg. I had to pipe up a few times, but I weren't going to wire my neck in. Had to get it sorted. But anyway, eventually I was in hospital, I believe, for about 10 days. And physiotherapy, they were really good. They helped me, crutches and all that stuff. And eventually they took me home to my flat. Now, my flat was, as I mentioned before, 2 stories up. It was a 1-bedroom flat. It was large, but the flat was just like Bethnal Green Station. Oh, I asked for them to help me renovate it, new carpets, give it a bit of a zhuzh, give it a shimmy. Oh no, they're too busy, you know. Don't know what they do. I think they were too busy going to Whitstable or something, getting a bit of grub. But yes, they took me home to my flat, and at the time, obviously, terrible broken leg. They taught me how to do my wounds. I had all the district nurses come home and look after me and all that stuff. But I couldn't put my leg on the floor, and life was going to be very hard at the time. So I had my younger sister come and stay with me. She wasn't in work at the time, and luckily she was able to get down to the flat to look after me and help me. And I will never forget it. I will never forget it. Ambulance took me back, and as I got there, it's kind of a main road. A lot of people go down there. My younger sister says, "Oh, I'll meet you down there just to make sure everything's all right. If there's anything I can do, I'll be there." So these two ambulance crew, got me there, and all I see standing in the middle of the road is my younger sister in a bloody Disney Stitch onesie. Now, she's 20 at the time, quite tall, wearing a Stitch onesie with the bloody ears all like that, with her hands in her pocket. And as I open the door, "Hello, Drew, how are ya?" "Oh yeah, I'm fucking fine, thanks. I'm just doing fucking wonderful." Could not believe it. "You're right, Drew. How are ya?" Could not believe it. Anyway, these two ambulance people couldn't get me up to the flat, so I had to wait an extra half an hour for another ambulance crew to come. I had 4 people pick me up, get round this circular staircase to get to my flat. And as I got to the flat, as they got me in the flat, they literally plonked me down, and they literally was just, "All right, ta-da." It was just like, whoop, there you go. Me and my sister were just laughing. I mean, I was laughing, she was in a bloody Stitch onesie, but I digress. So 2 weeks went by. My younger sister's there looking after me. She was very good. Made some nice dinners. We had a laugh. We always have a laugh. Silly as a box of lights, but, makes me happy. And one day I was having a video chat with my dad, having a little bit of a catch up, and my leg was up, and I was just giving it just a little bit of, just a little bit of tender loving care, and then all of a sudden, whoosh, this liquid came out of nowhere. This liquid literally just exploded like a volcano. It was just like something just erupted from me. I mean, I'm not even dramatising, because my sister, she was literally, her eyebrows went over like a swimming cap. It was that dramatic. And I was like, "Dad, I'm going to have to call you back. There's drama." So my sister helped me clean it up, blah, blah, blah. And then there was a hole that was probably about 5 centimetres long and about 2 centimetres wide. Waited till the next day. As I went in the hospital, the doctor said again, if you didn't come at this time, they'd have to amputate you. So my face was like that. And he was wearing a mask at the time, so his eyebrows were like that. And I started crying. I was like, "Look, do what you got to do, blah, blah, blah." So I had more operations. Turns out that it was deeply infected inside, and they had to just do more debridements, more cleaning out, washing out as they call it. I had to have stent put in, PICC line put in, and I had to have IV antibiotics. And when the first one that they gave me, I did get cellulitis all over the arm. So my arm was like that for at least 2 to 3 days, so it could sort itself out. And my dad did make a joke. He was like, hands up if you're a cunt. And I'm just like this the whole time. Went through all of the antibiotics for about 4 months, 4 months, and then still had issues with the legs, still had infection, was going in and out, having washouts, and my consultant surgeon, who was brilliant by the way, he had to originally go off of annual leave to come into the hospital, do the original operation, mould my knee together, you know, fabulous. And I call him Razzmatazz, so that will be his name on Amputee, Razzmatazz. So anyway, I spoke to Razzmatazz and I said to him, look, what is going on? I can't keep going in and out like this. You can't keep doing this to me leg. Every time you do an operation, there's, you know, more chance of infection. So he was like, right, looks like the plates are infected. Let's take the plates out and let's see if that helps. So, took the plates out, but before the plates were taken out, something else happened. Join me in the next video for part 2 of my story so far. I know it's a long one, but I hope you're with me. See you then. Bye.
Oh, I know you're somewhere else right now, loving someone else, no doubt. Well, I'm one for sorrow, ain't it too bad? I am breaking someone else's heart, 'cause you're taking my love where you are. Well, I'm one for sorrow, ain't it too bad about us? Well, I'm one for sorrow, ain't it too bad about